Welcome to this week's CWL Discord Weekly. Let's see what the CWL superstars were up to this week as we get ready for the latest edition of Vindication and Nemesis. The loss by the Crimson Dragons didn't seem to deter Jasper Star. He was watching the match backstage, and according to him, it's about the time that the Dragons go out on a road trip and do some training together. And he's sure that Zistro Horror will definitely be the man to put an end to Colin Prince. Colin Prince was seen in a suit backstage explaining why he didn't show up to the main event last week. He refuses to risk injury in such a dangerous match. But that's not before explaining that he will be in action tomorrow, against Zairotoa of all people. A bit disrespectful if you ask me. A video was posted to social media by the 13 of him fiddling around with his Olympic gold medal. He is sure that the Gold in the Bank ladder match is one of the most dangerous matches that he has ever participated in, but he is also certain that he will walk away victorious and secure himself the briefcase. A rather pumped up Valencia celebrated her victory and quickly made her intentions known. This reign she will be defending against anyone and everyone. The most decorated woman in CWL history seems to not let her status go to waste. Who will be the first woman to step up? Zistro kept uttering the word destiny in Russian as he was seen in a backstage area where he holds memories of his past accomplishments. We're just 8 days away from Gold in the Bank, where Zistro attempts to become a first-time ever Vindication champion. Will it finally happen? Ryan Porter was backstage interviewing Zairotoa, and you could see the anger in the Samoan. He didn't like being ignored by Colin Prince, and he promises to step up on behalf of the Crimson Dragons tomorrow when he takes on the champion. The Twitch Championship will be on the line tomorrow, and we're getting an exciting matchup between veteran and newcomer. Carl Stone has been making waves as of late, and he could be just one victory away from becoming champion. But defeating Ebac for the Twitch Championship is not going to be an easy task. Griteri apologized for going too far last week against Chris Princess in his call-out, but he had to do what he had to do in order to get the match. Tomorrow, it's almost as if we're getting a super show as Griteri meets Chris Princess in the middle of the ring for the very first time. At an eventful charity event from Holly Queen, she was questioned about a possible partnership with Valkyrie, but she said that she was instead focused on defending the Openweight Championship this week. Only after that match was done, she would consider further questions on the matter. And at the same event, it seems that William Black has taken his loss to Brubble really hard. He feels as if his chances at becoming tag team champion are non-existent right now, and if his gods have abandoned him. The match is still on for Gold in the Bank, and anything can happen. But for our final taste of this challenge, tomorrow we will see Edward Bronson take on Austin Wolf. The Genesis rematch ended with the exact same result. Hannah Starr has secured her spot in Gold in the Bank. May the best woman win, says the anti-star. Jacob Nitro has an open challenge set for this week, and it will be for a Gold in the Bank spot. We can now confirm that the person that will answer the challenge is George Callop, who will advance to the prestigious ladder match. Selena Adams is not done with Jay Scott, but she is using that energy and applying it towards Yu Nishimura instead, who she will be defending the Nemesis Women's Championship against at Gold in the Bank. A week ahead of him being in the Gold in the Bank match, Chris Edwards is going to be in a triple threat match against the very two people that will be vying for his boss's championship, the Golden Mask and Connor Gates. The Dark Breed stand together, and Miss Suzuki spoke on behalf of Tora Khan. Tora Khan is planning to rip everyone away from Johnny Gemini at Gold in the Bank, and since it will be a handicap match, the odds are not in Gemini's side. Tony Samuels and Eli Evans seem to both be excited about the upcoming match for the Gold in the Bank spot. Tony Samuels himself didn't get to get his hands on Eli a few weeks ago during the tag team qualifier, so he's definitely ready for tomorrow. But now the question remains, who is going to grab that spot? Although Cassidy Clark is in the Gold in the Bank match, her mind is still on the events of 2 weeks ago where Marcella and Quinn attacked her. The momentum is all on her side, however. Will she deal with the new team as the briefcase holder?
CWL faithful. In just a couple of weeks, Gold in the Bank rolls around. And I, the Anarchist Conocades, have a chance to get back my Nemesis Heavyweight Championship. But I have to overcome two men to do it. Because not only do I have to overcome the person who beat me in BMS, but I also have to overcome the new edition of Golden Mask. Now, GM, I like you. And I do agree that what happened to us on the recent edition of Nemesis was kind of bullshit. You know, BMS saying Asphodel model on us. And I didn't really like what happened. And hopefully you and I can put our differences aside to really kick the crap out of BMS come Golden back. But just know that if I have to pin you to get that title back, I will. But I mean it in the best of respects. But the person who deserves none of that is BMS. You hit me over the head with a briefcase. You spine-busted knee on it. And I got a cracked rib or two, I won't lie. I fought with injury before. In fact, when I started wrestling, I fought with injury. I fought with cuts in my head, bleeding down the face. I fought with glass in my spine, in my skin of my arms. I fought with my fingers almost cut off. I had my fingernails pulled out at one point. And you know what? There is nothing that I won't put you through, that I won't put Golden Mask through, that I won't put myself through to get that title back. And I am coming to collect. So BMS, GM, both of you, keep your eyes peeled.
Wow. For a guy who came back to this company like a ball of fire, you sure managed to stumble at the first hurdle. In a way, it's poetic. You had lofty aspirations, rebellion, freedom, equality, but you lack two things: vision and ability. You fail to understand how to achieve your goals. Just like the drunken cowboy you are, you think all your problems can be solved by stumbling into the ring and throwing around a couple of lariats. The most tragic part? It would have worked if you were up against a Golden Mask or an Eli Evans, but as I've mentioned time and time again, Starjammer LLC is a cabal of the most capable and dangerous people in the history of professional wrestling, perhaps in the history of all athletic competition. You're very good, Mr. Young. You've won championships all over the world. You're a shoo-in for any wrestling Hall of Fame, but you've passed on your opportunity to truly be one of the best. But please, do not mistake my idle musings for distraction. I know exactly what I'm walking into on Nemesis. It's not every day that a wrestler has the chance to go one-on-one with the baddest man on the planet, but this Sunday, I will be granted that opportunity. Pistolero, I have not forgotten your betrayal, nor your stupidity. However, lack of intelligence aside, I am aware of just how dangerous you are. I won't lie. You threw a wrench in my plans when you sided with Mr. Young, and I'm gonna make an example of you this week when I tap you out in that wrestling ring. You will be the medium through which I show the CWL universe what I do to those who defy me. But don't worry, I won't injure you too badly. I'll save the rest of your punishment for Gold in the Bank, when Mr. Delgaiso and I turn you and your partner into nothing more than a memory.
In what is possibly one of the biggest opportunities of her career, Belle Florent is going to go into the Gold in the Bank match against 5 other competitors she has not stepped into the ring with. Could we see Belle finally carry the briefcase after next Sunday? Liza has been on an insane roll as of late, and she is being granted an Openweight Championship opportunity tomorrow against Holly Queen. Will the Horror family taste gold once again a week before Zistro gets his own shot? The Kingsmen went to a retreat to train together ahead of their matchup made up by Alexander. This is a cruel way to determine a number 1 contender, but if Alexander is to recapture that essence that he needs to summon Warlock, it seems that he has to defeat the better of the Kingsmen. Will it be Dr. Wrestling Jr., or will it be Alex Clark at Gold in the Bank? We find out tomorrow night.
Brandon, I get it. You're scared of us. Between setting us up in match after match after match to wear us down, putting hardcore stipulations in place to try and injure us, and then ganging up on us backstage, that's really fucking clear. You're spending a lot of time and money holding onto that belt. And with all your backstage bullshit, you spilled a lot of blood that you haven't earned. If you keep this up, the only career you're going to be able to have is one working for Charlie Gully down in Florida Dystopia Wrestling. Get your shit together. These are the big leagues. The CWL is where people strive to work their whole careers. And if you're too chicken shit to face us at full health, maybe you should pack your bags and go work for Gully, so you don't have to fight so damn hard. And believe me, when I say that at Gold in the Bank, you will have to fight hard to get a win. I mean it. I have a huge amount of respect for Connor, and at any other time, I think we'd probably get on well. But at the pay-per-view, the 3 of us, we go to war. And while Connor may get hurt in the crossfire, You're the one I have in my scope. That belt is coming home to backroom dealings. And when you're left in the middle of that ring, bleeding and broken, you will come to regret all of the games you've played up to this point. Before the pay-per-view, though, Connor and I have another triple threat match, where Brandon's little rent boy thinks he can show us up before we face his boss. If you're thinking what I am, Connor, let's have some fun before we head off to Buffalo.
A defeated Callie Kaplan was seen sulking backstage about her most recent betrayal. It seems that anyone she comes close to is just using her to get into a bigger spot. She spent a lot of good energy towards Reyes, and it ended up being a waste. We feel for Kaplan, and we can't wait to see how she bounces back from this. The partnership between Edwards and Reyes seems to be blossoming, and it might have been a long con from the get-go. Quinn Edwards sent a message to Callie and Cassidy, questioning to see if they were really as close as they think they are, after Cassidy did end up dropping Callie on her neck to be a contestant in Gold in the Bank. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of CWL Discord Weekly. Don't forget to check us out on Twitch for more CWL action from Genesis, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube as well to stay up to date on everything that happens in the CWL universe. Have a good night, everyone.